Can you share a little bit about, I guess, what you landed on or the big ahas you had when you thought about what technology wants?
It was a long time coming because when I set out to write the book, what I was hoping to do was to find a bunch of really smart people, professional philosophers or historians of technology who could relate to me the theory of technology, and I would write it down and make it clear. Well, it turned out that there wasn't one. There wasn't a plausible, workable theory of technology, unlike evolution and Darwin's evolution for biology and nature. Well, I wound up trying to have to cobble a proto theory together and to kind of run to the end. And the spoiler is that the theory is basically that technology is an extension of the evolutionary process, is evolution accelerated, that it's driven by the same dynamics that drive the self-organization of the planets and the galaxies and life itself, and that it is in many ways has a direction similar to the direction that evolution has. And so we can kind of answer what technology wants by answering the question, what does life and evolution want? And just to be clear, that question is controversial within the field of evolution and biology because there are many smart people who maintain that there absolutely is no direction in evolution. And for me, in my looking at the evidence, I would say there absolutely is directions in evolution. And the technology is following those same directions.
And can you share a little bit about what you think that direction is?
Well, I would say it's plural directions. And to be clear, it's not a destiny. There's no destination. These are directions. These are directions in the sense of, as I explained, one of the directions is that evolution and technology always moves towards the more complex. It rarely goes the other way of making things simpler. It generally makes things more complicated. We can increase the number of simple things, but the general pattern of evolution. So evolution is not really still evolving bacteria, but it's evolving other things because bacteria is kind of, there'll be mutations and there'll be small advances in that space. But the open area is towards more complexity to make things ever more complicated. The same thing with technology in general is going to tend towards making things more complicated, which suggests that in the future, the devices you have will be ever more complicated. Now, they may have a beautiful, simple egg-like interface. They may look as shiny and round as an egg, but inside they will be more complicated, and they might even require more sophisticated knowledge to harness their full power. So that's one direction, towards more complexity. Another direction is towards diversity, and this is true in life. So we have a very simple, where all the organisms are kind of initially evolved, they're very similar to each other, they're kind of blobby, but over time, evolution makes increasingly various different kinds of organisms. And the same thing with technology, will make ever increasingly diverse kinds of technology. So that's, again, not a destination, that's a general direction. And the third one, just for illustration purposes, would be like there's a general move in evolution from the general to the specific. Things are kind of multi-purpose in the beginning, and over time they tend to get more and more specific. And so we have maybe a bacteria that could live kind of almost anywhere, and then over time we have bacteria that can only live in hot springs above 50 degrees centigrade with a certain amount of sulfur. And the same thing we see in technology. We have a camera in the beginning, and then we can kind of make a high-speed camera, and then we can make an underwater high-speed camera, and then we can make an underwater infrared high-speed camera. So becoming more and more specific from the general. And that would say in the future, whatever we have now, phones or cars, that there will continue to be ever more specific versions of those cars that are amphibious cars that are only made to travel long distance, or cars that are only made to travel around the block. whatever it is, we're going to have more and more specific versions of things.